done for the employee. The crucial thing to remember here is that you've got a source patient, you've got an exposed patient. They each need to see a physician, and those two physicians need to communicate with each other and discuss the treatment options for the exposed person. There may be a time when you take a person into custody, there's been an exposure, you take them to the jail, and it turns out that medical already has a record of that person. They already know that they're HIV positive or hepatitis C or hepatitis B positive. If that's the case, then you don't need to do any further testing on the source patient. You still need to do testing on the exposed person, the employee, to get their baseline level to see if they've already been exposed or not, and then you need to coordinate treatment. Lots of times I'm asked, well, what if this person is not in custody? What can we do? Well, there's a great little form that's available through AOC, and supervisors, take out your pens, write this down, put it in your phone, wherever you'll remember it. But on the back of AOC CR 270, this is the detention of impaired driver form. On the reverse side of that form, there is a second form, and it's called Detention for Communicable Disease Testing. And it's underneath North Carolina General Statute 15A-534.3. What this does is that you can take this form in front of the magistrate, and you can hold a person for up to 24 hours. No longer than 24 hours, but you can hold them up to 24 hours for testing. So if you have got a person who is non-compliant, who is not willing to voluntarily see a physician, and one of our people has been exposed to their blood or body fluid, then what you do is you take this form to the magistrate's office, you hold them, and at that point give me a call, get in touch with the health department, and from there we can get a warrant or a court order to draw blood from them and to test the blood. So there's always a way in which we can do this. Sometimes we've had to do warrants, sometimes we've had to just talk people into compliance, but if we need to draw blood from somebody to test it to see if one of our people has been exposed, there's always a way in which we can do it. So that's really important. And again, I'm going to read that back. It is North Carolina AOC Form CR 270, and it's the reverse side of the Detention of Impaired Driver form. Please don't forget that. That's an important one to remember. That is basically it for the class. I'll go back over the training objectives, but what I do want you to remember, in addition to the AOC form, is my phone number. This is my personal cell phone, and it is, if I'm in town, it's basically always on. That number is 919-402-3215. If you have any questions about this stuff, give me a call at any time. If for some reason I'm not available, contact Durham County EMS Supervisor on duty, and they always go underneath the call sign of EMS 50. So contact EMS 50, and they can also answer any questions for you. So, to recap the training objectives, relate the purpose of the bloodborne pathogen standard in OSHA 29 CFR 1920-1030. We went through the general symptoms and epidemiology of bloodborne diseases. We talked about the different modes of transmission for bloodborne pathogens. We talked about the different tasks and other activities which might involve exposure to blood or other potentially infectious materials. We talked about methods which prevent or reduce exposure to blood or other potentially infectious materials. We also talked about the appropriate selection, storage, use, and disposal of personal protective equipment. We also went over the exposure control plan to cover the people to contact and the actions to take, and also procedure to follow if an exposure incident occurs, and information on post-exposure evaluation and follow-up. And so that is going to conclude this lesson plan. Like I said, any questions, give me a call. Thank you very much.